I always thought high school would be the same old teen drama you see in cheesy Netflix shows. Lockers slamming, hallway crushes, cliques with names like the Royals, and teachers who looked like they were one coffee away from a breakdown. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for the chaos that started with a single, stupid mistake. My name is Somi Kim. Sophomore. Korean American. Straight A student. Invisible to 95% of the school population. I wasn't the class clown or the cool artsy kid. I didn't play sports or hang out at the bleachers. I was just there, floating through the crowd like a ghost in Vans. Until one Monday morning changed everything. It started in second period English. Our teacher, Mr. Galloway, was the type who always smelled like espresso and weird books. He wore tweed jackets with elbow patches and spoke like he was auditioning for an audiobook. That day, he walked in with a manila folder and a dramatic grin. "All right, class," he said, tapping the folder like it held state secrets. "We've received the results of the Regional Creative Writing Contest." A low murmur passed through the classroom. Most people barely remembered we'd even entered a contest. I did. Because I hadn't submitted anything. Not because I was lazy, no. I just didn't think anyone would care what I wrote. So I skipped it. Like a coward. Mr. Galloway cleared his throat. The winner, not just of our school, but of the entire district, is Somi Kim. My pen dropped. Literally. It hit the desk and bounced onto the floor like a mic drop from the universe. I blinked. Wait, what? Everyone turned to look at me. Like actually looked at me. Their faces went from confused to shocked to suddenly respectful. I raised my hand, heart pounding. Mr. Galloway, I didn't submit anything." He waved a hand like I was being modest. "Don't be silly, Somi. Your piece was brilliant. So raw, so poetic. It's going to be published in the state anthology next month. You're invited to the award ceremony next week." I looked around like I was on a hidden camera show. No prank. No cameras. No Ashton Kutcher jumping out of a locker. Just 30 students clapping like I was Taylor Swift winning album of the year. I thought maybe it was a mix-up. That he'd come back tomorrow and say, "Oops, my bad. It was Tommy Kim, not Somi Kim." But that didn't happen. Instead, the news spread like wildfire. By lunch, my name was on the school's Instagram page. The caption read, "Somi Kim wins Regional Writing Contest, our very own literary queen." Girls I'd never talked to before waved at me in the hallway. Guys who used to forget my name now remembered it perfectly. Even Principal Harris nodded at me during morning announcements. By the end of the day, I had 113 new followers, 27 DMs, and one invitation to sit at the lunch table of the Ambers, aka the most terrifyingly glamorous group of girls at Westridge High. "Sit here," said Amber L. Yes, they had to use initials because there were 3 Ambers. "We want to know everything." I sat down like I'd been teleported into another universe. Amber R. leaned in, lip gloss shining like a warning. "Where do you get your inspiration?" I blinked. Everywhere." Amber C. sipped her cucumber water. "Do you write poetry about your crushes? Like, do you have one now?" I think my soul tried to exit my body at that moment. Then Amber L. winked. "I bet it's Jason. You looked at him in algebra like he was extra credit." I wanted to vanish. But instead of laughing at me, they giggled like I was the main character in some edgy teen drama. By the time I got home, my mom was already baking celebratory cookies. "For my brilliant daughter," she said, eyes gleaming. "Your teacher emailed me, Somi. I didn't know you were such a writer." I stared at the oven, wondering how to tell her that her daughter was accidentally famous. So I didn't. I just smiled. "Yeah, I guess. I'm full of surprises. But here's the thing about being in the spotlight when you're not supposed to be. You start getting used to it. The attention. The praise. The lunch table with the Ambers. The subtle jealousy from people who never even noticed you before. I didn't mean to ride the wave. It just kept going. By Wednesday, I was offered a spot on the school newspaper. Thursday, I was called into the counselor's office to talk about college scholarship potential. Friday, a local news channel emailed the school requesting an interview. And still, I said nothing. Even when I found out the real winner was another Kim, Samuel Kim, a senior at Westbrook Prep. Different school, different person, same last name. Boom. Instant mistake. But Mr. Galloway never checked twice. And I didn't correct him. I mean, how could I? When you've been invisible your whole life, and suddenly someone turns the lights on, you don't run back into the shadows. You soak in the glow. Then came the writing workshop. That Saturday, I was invited to speak on a student panel about nurturing young creativity. There were real authors there, journalists, even a publisher. My stomach turned to jelly the second I saw the crowd. I can't do this, I whispered to myself, staring at the auditorium full of expectant eyes. Then I saw my mom in the front row, holding up her phone like I was at the Grammys. Too late to bail now. I walked to the podium. My knees were made of pudding. My palms, Niagara Falls. "Hi," I said into the mic, "I'm Somi Kim. I write stuff." The crowd chuckled. That helped. Kind of. I stumbled through a speech about how writing had changed my life. How it helped me express emotions I didn't know I had. How being vulnerable was a strength, not a weakness. And the worst part, they loved it. I got a standing ovation. A literal standing ovation. By the time Monday rolled around, I was more popular than the football team. People asked for my advice. Teachers quoted my fake writing in class. Someone even made a fan page at Somi the Scribe. But inside, I was screaming. This wasn't me. I didn't earn this. I didn't write a single word of that essay. And yet, here I was, living in a fantasy where I was the star. I told myself I'd come clean soon. Just not yet. Because the Fall Talent Showcase was coming. And guess who was asked to open the night with a live poetry reading? Yep, yours truly, Somi freaking Kim. The night of the showcase arrived faster than I could fake a cold. I stood backstage with trembling hands, clutching a printed poem, one I actually wrote this time. The lights dimmed. The crowd went quiet. My name echoed over the mic. Somi Kim, our literary prodigy, will open with an original piece titled Unwritten Pages. I stepped onto the stage, the spotlight blinding. My heart pounded against my ribs like a prisoner begging for escape. I looked at the crowd. Hundreds of faces. Parents, students, teachers, news cameras. I swallowed hard. And just as I was about to speak, a voice called out from the side of the stage. "Wait, there's been a mistake." I turned my head. Standing in the wings, holding a manila folder, was Mr. Galloway. Face pale, eyes wide. "Everyone," he said slowly, "I need to make an announcement before we begin." The room tensed. My breath caught. The curtain behind me swayed. And suddenly, I knew. Everything was about to come crashing down. The silence in the auditorium was thick, heavy, like the air itself had frozen mid-breath. Mr. Galloway clutched that cursed manila folder like it was radioactive. His fingers trembled slightly, but his voice was steady. "Before Somi begins, I want to publicly correct something." I stood at center stage under the spotlight, frozen. My heartbeat echoed so loudly I could barely hear his words. But I knew what was coming. "I reviewed the submission records for the regional writing contest again this morning," he said. "And it turns out, there was a mislabeling. The winning essay wasn't submitted by Somi Kim from Westridge High," he paused. "It was submitted by Samuel Kim from Westbrook Prep." There it was. Boom. The truth, spoken out loud, in front of every single person I just spent 2 weeks fooling. A ripple of confused murmurs swept across the auditorium. I could see people turning to each other. Teachers whispering. A student near the front muttered, "Wait, she didn't actually win?" Mr. Galloway looked at me with this weird combination of regret and sympathy. "I'm so sorry, Somi. This was my mistake." I opened my mouth, closed it, opened it again, and then I stepped up to the mic. "I know," I said softly. A hush fell again. "I've known for a while now. I wasn't the real winner. My voice cracked. I didn't write the essay that got all this attention. That was someone else. A different Kim. The auditorium felt like it held its breath. But, I continued, what I am doing right now is real. This poem, I wrote it myself. And I want to share it, even if it's the last time anyone listens. And before my brain could convince me otherwise, I read it. The poem was called Unwritten Pages. It was about what it feels like to be overlooked, forgotten. How sometimes you're the side character in your own story. How the moment someone finally sees you, even by mistake, it changes everything. I spoke the last lines with shaky breath. Maybe I didn't earn the first page. But these lines right here, these are mine. When I finished, there was silence. And then, scattered clapping. Not thunderous. Not a standing ovation like last time. But real. Honest. Some people didn't clap at all. But I didn't care. Because for the first time since this whole mess started, I finally felt like me. Backstage, I expected Mr. Galloway to scold me. Or at least give me that disappointed teacher voice. Instead, he handed me a tissue and said, "You still gave the best performance of the night." I smiled through my tears. Thanks. Even if it was built on a lie. He shook his head. Mistakes happen, but it's what we do after them that shows who we really are. And that poem, that was yours. Every word. The next morning, the fallout began. The school Instagram quietly deleted my Writing Queen post. The Ambers didn't save me a seat at lunch. Amber L. even walked by and whispered, "That was humiliating." As if I needed reminding. My DMs went from, "You're so inspiring sparkling heart," to, "Oh, you faked it?" Someone even made a meme of my shocked face on stage with the caption, "When you realize you're not that girl." Yeah. Brutal. But something surprising also happened. A few people stayed. Like Mia, the quiet girl from art class, who handed me a folded note between periods. It read, "Your poem made me cry. I write too. Want to read mine?" Or Jason, the same Jason the Ambers teased me about, who found me at my locker and said, "Hey, that was gutsy. If you ever want to hang out, I'm down." And my English teacher from freshman year, Ms. Rowe, emailed me privately. "This experience doesn't define you, Somi. Your voice does. Keep using it." For the first time, I realized something important. Popularity fades. But authenticity, that sticks. 2 weeks passed. I sat alone at lunch again, just like before. Only this time, I didn't mind it as much. I used the time to write. Not to impress anyone. Not to win contests. Just to write. One afternoon, Mia sat down across from me with a shy smile. "You never replied to my note." I blinked. "Oh, I read your poem. It was so good. Like, publish it good." She blushed. "You think?" "I know," I said. "Let's write something together." From that day, we started trading stories during lunch. Sometimes we wrote fanfiction about our teachers. Mr. Galloway was a surprisingly decent vampire villain. Other times we made up fantasy worlds where math homework was illegal. More people joined in. Quiet kids from orchestra. Theater geeks. Even a jock named Leo who turned out to be secretly obsessed with writing sci-fi. We didn't call ourselves a club, but we kind of became one. And weirdly, I was the glue holding it together. Not because I was the best writer, but because I had a story. A very public one. And I didn't run from it. By the end of the semester, we asked Mr. Galloway if we could publish a zine of student writing. He agreed, probably still trying to redeem himself. We called it Page 1. Somi Kim, Editor-in-Chief. On the last page of the issue, I wrote a personal letter. "Dear reader, I used to think my story started with someone else's words. But the truth is, it started the moment I chose to tell my own. So here's your blank page. Make it yours. Love, Somi." I thought the whole writing fame chapter of my life was over. But the universe had one more surprise. During finals week, a rep from Evermore Publishing came to our school. They had seen our zine online, thanks to Jason sneakily submitting it to a teen writing contest, and wanted to meet the student behind it. Me. They offered me a chance to submit a manuscript to their teen author mentorship program. No promises, they said, but we think your voice is fresh. My jaw hit the floor. I haven't written a book, I said. Then start, the rep smiled. You've already lived one. That night, I sat at my desk, blank page glowing on my laptop screen. And this time, I wasn't scared of it. I didn't need to win any contest or borrow anyone else's story, because I finally had my own. You'd think getting publicly exposed for a mistake you didn't make would end your story. But in my case, it was only the beginning. I didn't become famous. I didn't become prom queen. I didn't even get to keep my spot with the Ambers. But what I did gain was something way more real: a voice, a community, and a future I never saw coming. That summer, while other kids were going to beach parties or binge-watching entire seasons of drama shows, I was doing something way nerdier. I was writing a book. It started with a single sentence. No one ever noticed her until she vanished. That line stayed with me for days, scratching at the back of my brain like a secret. So I kept writing. Every day, after my part-time job at the boba shop, I'd sit at my desk, sipping taro milk tea and typing until 2 a.m. My story followed a girl named Junie, quiet, smart, overlooked, who faked her own disappearance to see if anyone cared. But in the process, she accidentally uncovered a bigger mystery and became a symbol for every kid who ever felt invisible. Sound familiar? Yeah. It was me, disguised as someone else, but also, finally honest. I didn't tell anyone about the manuscript at first. Not my parents, not Mia, not even Jason, who, by the way, had officially become my library study session buddy with subtle flirt vibes. It felt like my little secret, a piece of myself I was growing, quietly. But then, something unexpected happened. Late July. I was on my second boba shift, wearing a pink apron that said, Tapioca Queen, when I saw a woman walk in wearing square glasses and a blue blazer. She looked around, spotted me, and smiled. "Somi Kim?" she asked. My brain stalled. Yes. She extended her hand. "I'm Marla from Evermore Publishing. We met at school in May." I nearly dropped the blender. "What are you doing here?" I squeaked. "We're in town for a teen author conference," she said. "I remembered you lived nearby. Thought I'd check in. Did you start your manuscript?" I nodded slowly, heart racing. "I actually finished a first draft." Marla's eyebrows lifted. "You serious?" I blinked. "Yes." She grinned. "Send it to me. Today. Don't wait." That night, after double and triple checking every single line, I hit send. Then I immediately panicked, shut my laptop, and hid under my comforter like the words might crawl back and slap me. But what happened next? That was the real twist. 2 weeks later, I got an email with the subject, "We love your story." My heart flatlined for a second. Evermore didn't offer a publishing deal. Not yet. But they did offer something almost better. A place in their Teen Voices mentorship program, a summer-long intensive where I'd work with a real editor, refine my book, and possibly submit it for publication after. I screamed, loud enough that my mom dropped a bowl of strawberries in the hallway. When I told her, she just stood there, stunned. Then she hugged me tighter than she had in years. "You've always had something special," she whispered. "I'm glad the world finally sees it." Back at school in the fall, everything felt different. Not because I was famous. Trust me, I wasn't. My 15 minutes had definitely passed. But I walked the halls with something I never had before: confidence. Mia and I officially launched the writing club, now called Inkwell. We met every Wednesday after school in the library. Our motto: real stories, real voices. We had 12 members by the end of the first week. A dozen kids, all different, all eager to tell their stories. Sci-fi nerds, fanfic junkies, poetry dreamers, memoir scribblers. And they looked to me to lead them. The girl who accidentally stole someone else's win and turned it into something authentic. One day after club, as I packed up my notebook, Jason lingered by the door. "You want to come with me to the fall festival?" he asked casually, leaning against the bookshelf. I blinked. Like a date. Or just a hangout, he shrugged. Unless you want it to be a date. I looked at him, this boy who saw past the rumors, past the hype, past the downfall, and smiled. Yeah, let's call it a date. Weeks passed. My mentorship sessions began. Marla paired me with an editor named Clarissa, who was whip-smart, brutally honest, and wildly supportive. Every week, we'd go over a new section of the manuscript, cutting fluff, digging deeper, sharpening the emotional punches. It was hard work. Some days I wanted to throw my laptop out the window. But slowly, my draft became a story worth telling. One rainy October afternoon, I got an unexpected message on Instagram. From Samuel Kim, the actual winner of the original contest. Hey, just found out what happened months ago. That was wild. Hope you're okay. P.S. Read your zine. Unwritten Pages was fire. I stared at the message for 5 full minutes. Then I replied, "Thank you, and I'm sorry again. I should have corrected it sooner. P.S. Your essay was amazing. Deserved the win." He replied with a thumbs up and a gif of a peace sign. Guess some endings are cleaner than expected. By December, Clarissa said the words I never thought I'd hear. "I think this is ready to pitch." I nearly choked on my green tea. Pitch. Like, to real publishers. "Yup," she said. "You've got a strong voice. Honest, layered, and you. This could actually go somewhere." Cut to spring. A bidding war didn't happen. Movie rights weren't sold. But one small, independent publisher, Foxlight Books, offered to publish my story as part of their debut teen author series. It wasn't flashy, but it was real. And for someone who once rode to fame on someone else's words, this time, every single word was mine. When the book finally came out a year later, I held the first printed copy in my hands and cried. The cover was dreamy, pastel clouds, bold letters spelling, "Vanishing Point" by Somi Kim. Inside, right after the dedication to my family, I wrote, "For every kid who thought their story didn't matter. It does. You do." The local bookstore threw a launch party. People from school came, Mia, Jason, even Mr. Galloway, who cried way too loudly during the reading. My mom brought cookies. My dad wore a t-shirt that said, "Somi's #1 fan." And me. I stood in front of a crowd again. But this time, no spotlight felt scary. Because I wasn't pretending. After the reading, a shy girl about 12 came up to me. She held a copy of my book so tightly her knuckles were white. "Hi," she whispered. "I want to write stories too. But I don't think I'm good." I knelt down so we were eye level. "You don't have to be good," I told her. "You just have to start." She nodded. "Will you sign my book?" I smiled and scribbled my name inside the cover. Then I added something else. "Keep writing. The world needs your voice." So yeah, a teacher's mistake made me the star of the school. But it also gave me a spotlight I never asked for. What I did after the spotlight. That was the real story. Not fame. Not followers. Just a girl who used to be invisible. Finally learning how to be seen. One word at a time. And